a lot of people always tell me, have you thought of losing some weight? Stop eating, quit eating. But I don't believe in that because I'm not a quitter. I'm not gonna quit eating. But I have lost some weight. I've lost about 10 pounds, which is, something to talk about, I guess. It took me 22 years, but I finally lost it. So I get a lot of stares at the grocery stores and the restaurants, two places I frequent a lot. And one time I decided to go can I help you, sir? And the person goes, has anyone ever told you you look like that Iranian comedian, Eslam? No offense, I don't mean to hurt your feelings. No offense taken, seriously. Something was really confusing for me when I was studying American history. I understand that they used to refer to black people as colored people back then. I asked one of my friends, and he goes, yeah, they still do in some parts of the U.S., the racist parts in the South. It's confusing for me as a foreigner. When you're learning English, black people are born black. They grow up as black. When they're in the sun, their skin color doesn't change. They're still black. When they are envious of someone, their skin doesn't change. It's still black. When they're sick, their skin color is still black. And when they die, their skin color is black. However, white people, they are born pink. They grow up as white. In the sun, they turn red. When they're envious of someone, they're green. When they're sick, they're blue. And when they die, they turn purple. Who the hell is the colored people now? I went to Howard, so I have to take care of my homies. You remember that movie with Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger?
Yeah.
What was the name? 9.5 Weeks. Obviously, somebody's into kinky sex. Remembers it so well. It was on Netflix the other night, and I told my girlfriend, I'm thinking, what they're doing. I couldn't tell her. It was what? I said, how about if I pour some pancake syrup on me and you lick it up? She goes, no, thank you. I don't like short stacks. So that was just, there are some dilemmas that come to my head once in a while, and they stay as a dilemma unless you solve it for me. Why do people, as they get older, they study their religious books? Are their finals coming up or something? Think about it. Blind people, when they go to bathroom, how can they tell their butt is clean? Blind people. Think about it. In a sunny day, if you don't have sunglasses to protect your eyes, you squint, right? Is this working? Right?
Yes.
Why do Asians wear sunglasses? Their eyes are already like this. Why do they wear sunglasses? Seriously. But there's something that is very unfair that happens to women once a month, and they refer to it as menstruation. That happens to women. Why don't you call it womenstruation? Seriously. Or herpes. Men get it too. Call it his piece. Dictionary. Is it just for women? Come on, think about it. Welcome back. My name is Eslam. I'd like to welcome the Iranians and the hostages right there. The Armenian. Oh, you're Armenian? I'm so sorry. There is room for improvement. You'll be Georgian one day. Yes.
That's nice.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Wait a minute. I don't have my glasses on. Where are you? They would ask me, where are you from? And I'm like, I come from Iran. Both your parents are Iranian? Yes. Where are you from? Well, I'm 1/3 Irish, 2/3 Cherokee Indian, 1/8 German, 7/8 Hungarian. I'm like, how many men did your mom sleep with just to make you? Serious American. When we were in college, we did a bit of experimenting. And I'm not talking about Brokeback Mountain nowadays, which is customary. I'm talking about smoking weed. When you smoke weed, you talk a lot of shit that make no sense. Right, sir? You do grass?
All the time.
Coke?
All the time.
Pepsi?
All the time.
All of them? Damn, you must be feeling good. That's why you like all the time. All the time.
All of them.
That's good. You're from Iran, and the good opium from Afghanistan. U.S. soldiers make sure it gets to the border safely and it comes to Iran. We were there to liberate Afghanistan and oil liberate Iraq. Anyway, when I was in college, we did a bit of experimenting with my black and Mexican friend, Juan and Tyrone. Well, you can figure out which one was which. It was like, they go like, Hey, Anthony, because Islam in English means Anthony. Hey, Anthony, you want to get high? I'm like, what? High? What? High? I'm like, hi, how are you? I was like, no, man. You want to get stoned? I'm like, get what? You want to get stoned? I'm like, why? I did not sleep with a married woman. Why do you want? See, where we come from, getting stoned is literally you get stoned. And it's like, we're going to smoke some grass. I'm like, wow, America, what a great country. After they smoke the grass, they cut the grass, they recycle it, and they smoke it. So one goes like, Jesus had to be Mexican because his name was Jesus. His mother didn't know who his father was, and he was always in trouble with the law. So I run to the joint and go, no man, sit down, ass motherfucker. Jesus wasn't Mexican. Jesus was black because he called everybody brother. He never had a permanent job or address, and nobody would ever hire him. I'm like, what the hell? You know, when you're out, you do a lot of shit that makes no sense. Give me back that cigarette, give me back that cigarette. What is this camel shit? Jesus was not Mexican, he was not black either, he was Persian, and I'll prove it to you, and if you argue with me, I take you hostage. Jesus was Persian because he lived in his mother's house till he was 33 years old. That's right. Or Armenian it could have been, or Jewish. But actually Jesus was the Jew that made it and became Christian, you know that, right? And he went in the same business as his father because his mother told him to. And just like every Persian boy, he thinks his mother is a virgin, and his mother thinks his son is God's gift to the world, and no woman on Earth, Mars, Pluto, and Uranus is ever worthy of her son. That's why I think Jesus was Persian. Thank you very much. And speaking of Persians, Persians are different than Arabs. If God wills, one day Arabs will be upgraded and be Persian as well. Nah, that's alright. It's alright. You know, in comedy you cannot offend people. People choose to be offended. And the ones that are not here are the offended ones. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful wall, isn't it? However, this wall comes with this building and we Persians just buy it. We don't give a damn about the wall. And then we sell it to the Jews more expensive. If you go for your own checkup, for your own yearly checkup, and when you come back you have medicine for yourself, your mother, your daughter, your gardener, and your kid's teacher, you might be Persian. If you have divorced your wife 5 years ago and remarried and yet still do not allow your first ex-wife to date anybody in the world, you might be a stupid male pig chauvinistic Persian. With how expensive the goddamn gas is, if you drive 10 miles to return an item to a 99-cent store, you might be Persian. If you ask for a price check at the 99-cent store, you might be Persian. If you get a job at the 99-cent store, so when you shop there, you get 50% discount, not discount. Iranians say discount. You might be Persian. They do. I don't know what happened to that cunt, but they have to get this cunt. What? Very bad joke, You know, I'm going to go to the other wall now. Here's yours. If by looking at a woman's ankle, they go, nice piece of ass, you might be Saudi Arabian. If your phone rings and you answer the phone and go, yeah, Bita, I'm at Macy's shopping, but in fact you're rummaging through clearance rack at Ross, Deres for Less, Marshall, and TJ Maxx, if your sister is hairier than you might be Persian. If your mother thinks if you are God's gift to women and no woman on earth is ever worthy of you, you might be Jesus or Persian. If your favorite colors are black, and more black, 995, you might be Persian. If you think everybody else in America is a foreigner except you might be Persian. You might be Persian. If shaving twice a day means anything to you, you might be Persian. If you can lose 10 pounds by shaving your back, you might be an Arab. However, if you lose 5 pounds by shaving your back, you might be Persian. If your eyebrows remind Americans of McDonald's sign, you might be Persian. If your parents come to visit you, and after 6 months when they leave, you're on the verge of separation, divorce, and taking each other to the court, you might be Persian. If the smell of your cologne precedes you to the room 10 minutes before you get there, you might be Persian. If your parents travel to America twice a year to cash their SSI check, you might be Russian, Armenian, Persian, Jewish. LA is filled with filthy people, I tell you. But finally, after 34 years, because I hang out with the Persians in Westwood, which is called Tehrangeles, my English sucked worse than the Armenians in Glendale. So, I went to take the driver's test, and as I got in the car, the instructor sat next to me, and he was a native Californian, better known as a Mexican. So he goes like, I sat down, I fastened my seatbelt, checked the mirror, and turned the car on, put on the signal, put the emergency brake down, and I looked in the mirror, and I started to drive, and just about 5 minutes into it, it says, make a U-turn. What? Make a U-turn. To what? Can Jew make a Jew-turn? I'm sure Jews can make a Jew-turn, but to what? No. Can Jew make a Jew-turn? I said, yeah, I'm sure they can, but why would they make a turn? If they're a Jew, I'm sure they don't want that Jew-turn. And he goes, oh, what are Jews talking about? And I was like, I don't know what Jews are talking about. Maybe they're talking about taking more land from Palestinians. Do you think this is funny? And I was like, I don't know. Jews have a good sense of humor, but I don't know. They're not here. I cannot speak for them. So it was, and then it goes like, oh, do you think this is a yolk? No, it's an egg white. What is it? What are you talking about? So I got my driver's license, and I was driving on Hollywood Boulevard, right where Highland and the Kodak Theater, now called Dolby Theater, is. There is a sign on the northeast side of the Hollywood and Highland. There is a guy, I don't know what his motive is. He's standing there holding a sign, and the sign simply, plainly in English says, fuck yourself. And I'm like, who's going to give money to this guy? Why is he holding a sign? Next to it, there are 2 big signs about Jesus and the cross and everything. It says, Jesus is the answer. And this creates a dilemma for me. Fuck yourself. And if you don't know how, Jesus has the answer. So I go up to him and say, and I put on a fresh off the boat accent, sir, what means Jesus? He goes, oh no, sir, Jesus saves. And I'm like, really? Does he work for Chase or Citibank? He goes, no, you don't understand. Jesus is the answer. And I'm looking at the other side and like, really? To what? He goes, to everything. I'm like, oh great. Tomorrow I have the written test part of the exam for driving. If I put Jesus for everything, I am accepted, I can drive? He goes, no. Do you know about resurrection? And I said, well, I know that if it lasts more than 4 hours, you have to call the doctor. And then he goes, no, obviously you're not going to be a Christian, sir. Just go on with what you're doing. Thank you very much. You have a great evening. Drive safely. Please do not drink and drive, because you're going to hit a speed bump and spill that drink, and that's a total waste.